The floor is yours, sir.
Okay, good morning. My name is Nick Dove, Interim Chief of Streets and Chair of the Public Improvement Commission. I call to order the Public Improvement Commission hearing of December 18th, 2025. Mr. Lyman, can you please take a roll call?
Certainly. Would the representative from the Public Works Department please state their name for the record? Chief Gov, if you're speaking, you're muted.
Sorry. Nick Gove, Chair of the Commission.
Great, thank you. Property Management Department, please do the same.
Joseph Callahan.
Transportation Department.
Amy Gordon.
Inspectional Services Department.
Ryan Ronan.
Water and Sewer Commission.
Denise Devlin.
And Commission for Persons with Disabilities.
Darrell Young.
We have perfect attendance. All yours.
Great. All right, we'll start with hearing minutes. The request to the Public Improvement Commission staff, the acceptance of the minutes of the PIC hearing, which was held on December 4th, 2025. Do I hear a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve or accept the minutes of December 4th, 2025.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstain? So moved. Thank you. All right, moving to the public hearing continued. On a petition by 635 Hyde Park Ave LLC for acceptance of a pedestrian easement adjacent to the following public ways in West Roxbury. Hyde Park Avenue on its westerly side at addresses number 635 through 641 south of Canterbury Street, and Canterbury Street on its southerly side west of Hyde Park Avenue. As shown on plan entitled City of Boston Public Works Department, Engineering Division, Pedestrian Easement Plan 635 to 641 Hyde Park Ave and Canterbury Street, Public Ways in Rosendale, one sheet dated April 9th, 2025, revised June 3rd, 2025. Can the project team please introduce yourselves and your affiliations and provide a summary of the progress you've made since the previous hearing?
Good morning, Chief Gove, board members, PIC staff, Attorney John Pulgini on behalf of 635 Hyde Park Avenue LLC. 635 Hyde Park Ave is a new housing proposal at the corner of Hyde Park Ave and Canterbury Streets in Rosendale. This proposal went through an Article 80 process to include the construction of a new 4-story mixed-use building with 27 dwelling units and approximately 914 square feet of first-floor retail. It also provides 14 internal parking spaces that are located below grade, partially below grade, which will be accessed off Hyde Park Ave. With respect to the pedestrian easement, and just to give a little bit of history, since we last met with this board, we had another call with Sarah and Dolores and went through some things, so we will be seeking 2 variances from the MAB board. At this point, I'll turn it over to a representative from Norwood Engineering who will walk through the plans with respect to the pedestrian easement. Thank you.
Sure, thank you. My name is Matt Smith from Norwood Engineering Company. Can everyone hear me, or am I muted?
Loud and clear.
Okay. We're proposing an easement plan, and what we would ask you to approve is an easement plan that expands the sidewalk approximately 10 feet. So the applicant proposes to provide an easement to the city so the sidewalk on Canterbury Street can be expanded approximately 10 feet. We are adding other elements such as some planters and other streetscape elements to improve the aesthetics of the sidewalk. Also, as part of the project, we're proposing to change the curbing. Right now, the curbing is almost flush with the pavement. There's about 2 inches of reveal on the curb. It's an existing condition that's been there for many times. So we are proposing to reset that curbing so there's a nice 6-inch reveal along Canterbury Street, and then down at the intersection of Canterbury and Hyde Park Ave, we are proposing the accessibility ramps. So at this point, I'd like to open it up to any questions that anybody may have.
Thank you. Any comments or questions from the commission? Hearing none, any questions or comments from PIC staff or members of the public?
I will take this opportunity to remind the public, if you wish to ask questions or add testimony to any particular action, please use the raised hand function, which can be found at the reactions tab at the bottom of your screen. I do not see anybody with a raised hand right now, and PIC staff is all set on the easement action specifically.
Seeing no members of the public. Anything on your end, Todd? No other comments from the commission staff?
Oh, sorry, no, we're all set on this one, thank you.
Okay, do we have a motion to approve the public hearing continued, number 1?
I'll make a motion to approve a petition by 635 Hyde Park Ave LLC for the acceptance of a pedestrian easement in Hyde Park Ave and Canterbury Street as read into the record by the chair.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed or abstained? So moved. Thank you very much. Number 2, on a petition by 635 Hyde Park Ave LLC for the making of specific repairs within the following public ways in West Roxbury, consisting of curb realignment and sidewalk reconstruction, as well as new and relocated pedestrian ramps, specifically pavement, street lighting infrastructure, street trees, bike racks, and driveway curb cuts. At Hyde Park Avenue at addresses number 635 through 641, south of Canterbury Street, and Canterbury Street, west of Hyde Park Avenue. As shown on the set of plans entitled City of Boston Public Works Department Engineering Division, Specific Repairs Plan 635 through 641, Hyde Park Avenue and Canterbury Street, Public Ways in Rosendale, 2 sheets dated April 10th, 2025, and revised November 21st, 2025. Can the project team or proponent please introduce yourselves, your affiliations, provide a summary of the update on your progress?
Sure. Again, good morning, Chief, board members, PIC staff, Attorney John Pulgini here on behalf of 635 Hyde Park Avenue LLC. By way of history, this is a new housing proposal at the corner of Hyde Park Avenue, Canterbury Streets in Rosendale. It is a 4-story mixed-use building with 27 residential units and approximately 914 square feet of first-floor retail. It also has 14 internal parking spaces that will be accessed off Hyde Park Ave. Specific repairs include resetting of granite curbing along Canterbury and Hyde Park Ave, reconstruction of 288 ramps, one along Canterbury and one along Hyde Park Avenue, extending of curb along Hyde Park Ave to create a narrower curb cut to be 12 feet, which will be used to access residential driveway to the building, creation of 6 outdoor vehicle bicycle parking spaces, creation of 4 street trees along Canterbury, installation of new concrete sidewalks, and a widening of the sidewalk along Canterbury Street. This, again, since our last meeting, new business, we had some meeting with disabilities as well as Public Works, and we understand that we will be going for a MAP variance for elevation change along Canterbury Streets, as well as a variance for a slope panel at Canterbury, as well as on Canterbury Street. At this point, I'll turn it over to Matt Smith from Norwood Engineering to walk through the plans. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So we are proposing to upgrade the curbing and the curb cuts.
Would you mind putting the plans on the screen, please?
Yes, will do. Okay. This is the 11/21/25. Yep. Yes. Yes. Okay, so let's zoom in. It should be the 11/21/25 revision. Yep. Is that correct? Okay, so Alex is going to, my name is Matt Smith, an engineer with Norwood Engineering Company. I'm here with Alex Kraplin, He's going to put the cursor, I think, if he can, near so people can follow. But basically, on the lower left part of the screen, we are proposing a curb cut for a realign and resize the curb cut to allow for a driveway that will go to the parking that is partially underneath the building in the back. And we've upgraded the sidewalk to make it a little bit wider along Hyde Park Avenue, and that is shown on the easement plan that was just approved. And along Hyde Park Avenue, we are proposing a new curb ramp that is by the crosswalk that we show on the plan. And then also we're proposing another curb ramp near Canterbury Street. And this matches the sidewalk that comes down Canterbury. So if Alex can show us the sidewalk coming down Canterbury, you'll see the 10-foot expansion to the sidewalk. And as I mentioned before, one of the things that we tried to design was to change the reveal on the curbing, which is along Canterbury Street, which is only about 2 inches, which is substandard, and we raised it to provide a 6-inch reveal, so it will just be a much better look to it. It'll convey the water in the gutter better, and it won't have any potential splash up on the sidewalk, and it makes things a lot better. And we had 3 good meetings with both the well, actually with 3 entities. We had the Public Works Department, we had the Mayor's Commission for Persons with Disability, and we had the outside consultant Scantech meet on three occasions to try to find out the best way to upgrade this existing condition. What we feel we've done is we've designed it to the maximum extent practicable, but what happens is because we raise that curbing to an elevation of 6 inches above the gutter, when we slope back down towards the curb ramp, we're making that sidewalk slightly steeper. So even though it's a steep sidewalk, it's between 9 and 10%, which is allowable when by lifting that curbing up by 6 inches and then sloping back down, we are increasing the slope of the sidewalk. So my understanding is that technically requires a variance from Mass Architectural Access Board. I will tell this commission I've never appeared before them and asked for a variance, so I'm a bit unfamiliar with the process, but we're told that is a process, and the applicant has agreed to go to the board and request a variance as a condition of this approval. I will say that although I did enjoy the 3 meetings, I was hoping that we could come up with a solution, a maximum extent practicable solution for this existing condition where we're trying to upgrade an existing street. But I defer to people that have done this before, and if it's necessary for us to request a variance from MAB, we will do so. And so at this point, I'd like to open it up to any questions that the commission may have.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from commission members?
Yes, I just want to express my appreciation to the project team for again meeting with my office as well as Dolores's office 3 times over the past couple of weeks. So really appreciate the commitment from this team, as well as the commitment from this team to file for a variance before permitting commences. My office is always available to help with technical assistance on applying for a variance, so happy to keep in touch if you're requiring any assistance with filing that application.
We appreciate that, Sarah. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any other questions or comments from the commission? Any comments, questions from PIC staff?
Just a point of clarification, Sarah, I presume that you would want any approval vote for this action to be contingent on the obtaining of that variance?
Yes.
Okay, great, thank you.
Is it obtaining it or applying for? That's one question we had.
We would need the paperwork prior to pulling permits in any situation. Correct me if I'm wrong on that one.
Yeah, no, you can, this will be approved, and as soon as you have that approved as well, then you're ready to go. So this is contingent on you getting an approved variance in order to pull permits, but that you don't have to come back here or re-indict this unless there is something that comes up during your variance process.
All right, appreciate the feedback. Thank you, Amy.
Other than that, I do not see any members of the public with hands raised, and PIC staff is all set with this action.
Thank you, John. Do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve a petition by 635 Hyde Park Ave LLC for the making of specific repairs within Hyde Park Ave and Canterbury Street as read into the record by the chair, contingent upon all necessary accessibility variances.
Second.
Again.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any abstain? Aye. Any opposed or abstain? Hearing none, so moved. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, moving to the public hearing. Number one, on a joint petition by the estate of Carol Silva and the City of Boston Transportation Department for the widening and relocation of the existing right-of-way lines of Walnut Avenue, Public Way in Roxbury, located on its easterly side at address number 346, north of Ruthven Street. As shown on plan entitled City of Boston Public Works Department Engineering Division Widening and Relocation Plan 346 Walnut Ave, Roxbury Public Way, one sheet dated July 22nd, 2025. Project team, please introduce yourself and your affiliation and provide a summary of the request.
Thank you, Chief Gove. I'm Charlotte Fleetwood here on behalf of the project team. I'm with the Streets Cabinet in the City of Boston, and I'll give a quick overview of the whole project, and then we can go through the elements before PIC today. I'll turn it over to Dylan Skinner of TIC at that point. So this project, or what's before the PIC today, is all in support of the MassDOT Ellis Elementary Safe Routes to School project. It's a project that the city applied for with MassDOT, and we were awarded a grant some years ago, and we're excited to move into construction. And it's part of a larger goal to create family-friendly streets that are safe for children and adults of all ages to use. It's part of our Boston Safe Routes to School program to create safer streets for children to walk and bike to school, to ensure safe and smooth arrival and dismissal for all students and staff, no matter how they come to school, and also to help students arrive on time and ready to learn. So the project consists of traffic calming at 6 intersections in the Garrison Trotter neighborhood. This neighborhood, the main focus is the Ellis Elementary School, but it also has several other schools nearby, the Higginson Elementary, the Trotter Elementary, Boston Latin Academy, Bridge Charter School. So going through the intersections one by one, we have Walnut Avenue and Ruthven Street, where we'll have a raised intersection and some curb extensions. Walnut and Westminster, similar design. Walnut and Cobden, similar design. At Walnut at Crawford, we'll have, will not be a raised intersection, but we'll have curb extensions. At Abbotsford and Crawford Street, we'll have a curb extension with a rain garden that will be maintained by the Office of Green Infrastructure. And at Humboldt Ave and Monroe Street, we'll be raising the crosswalk on Page Left that leads to a bus stop, and then adding a new crosswalk on the right side of the intersection. We see quite a few students crossing on that side of the intersection. So we want to make that safer. With that, I'll turn it over to Dylan to share some of the engineering details and go through the specific requests today.
Hi, everybody. Dylan Skinner with TEC. Thank you, Charlotte. Thanks to everyone from the chair and the commission. Charlotte gave a good introduction. The significant changes since our last hearing, which a couple weeks ago, we were able to incorporate a city standard tree planting detail at the request of the Parks Commission, or the Parks Department.
So I'm sorry to cut in. I just want to maybe focus the conversation right now on public hearing item number 1. So that would be the widening and relocation of Walnut Ave adjacent to number 346. We'll take all of the widenings one at a time, and then at the very end, we'll handle the specific repairs for the physical improvements, if that's all right.
Oh yeah, that's fine. Okay, so
Thank you.
yeah, then no changes to any of the widening relocations from the last public hearing. So I think, unless anyone has any questions on the easements, I think that should be all set.
Okay, any questions or comments from the commission? How about PIC staff or members of the public?
Charlotte, would you mind just very quickly mentioning the coordination you've gone through with PFC and how those takings are impacting the easements that will be granted to the PIC after this hearing?
Yes, we went through the Public Facilities Commission yesterday to get approval to do eminent domain takings for the permanent and temporary easements needed to construct this project. That's a requirement through MassDOT. Any project that's federally funded and funded via MassDOT requires that we go through the right-of-way procedures that they've established. So we did go through Public Facilities and got approval from Public Facilities for the takings. And so the next step would then be to coordinate between Public Facilities and Public Works to make sure that the permanent easements are then included in the sidewalk right-of-way.
Okay, so and to confirm, standard PIC highway easements will be granted for this and all following widening and relocation actions, correct?
Correct.
Great. Other than that, sir, I have no other comments or questions on this action.
Thank you. Not seeing any comments from the public. Do we hear a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve a joint petition by the estate of Carol Silva and the City of Boston Transportation Department for the widening location in Walnut Avenue as read into the record by the chair.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstained? Hearing none, so moved. Okay, item number 2, on a joint petition by Westminster Community Limited Partnership and City of Boston Transportation Department for the widening and relocation of the existing right-of-way lines of Westminster Avenue, a public way in Roxbury, located on its northerly side at addresses number 30 to number 108, west of Walnut Ave. As shown on a plan entitled City of Boston Public Works Department Engineering Division Widening and Relocation Plan 30 to 108 Westminster Ave, Roxbury Public Way, one sheet dated July 22nd, 2025.
I think it'd be helpful to pull up the plan for each action so we just know where we're talking about.
Yep.
I've got the plans up. I can share them. All right, if you guys can see that, this was the one we just talked about. This is the next one at the corner of Westminster and Walnut. Very small, parcel about 3 square feet. Again, no changes to any of these since our last hearing, and Charlotte's already spoke on the coordination that her and her team have gone through with the PFC.
Any questions or comments from the commission? How about PIC staff or members of the public?
And just for the record, the same comments regarding PFC coordination and the highway easements relative to this action.
Thank you, Todd.
Other than that, all set.
Do I hear a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve a joint petition by Westminster Community Limited Partnership and the City of Boston Transportation Department for the widening and relocation of Westminster Avenue as read into the record by the chair.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstain? Hearing none, so moved. All right, number 3, joint petition from Wandalyn Johnson and Jalisi Turner in the City of Boston Transportation Department for the widening and relocation of the existing right-of-way lines of Walnut Ave, a public way in Roxbury located on its westerly side at address number 297 south of Cobden Street. As shown on a plan entitled City of Boston Public Works Department Engineering Division Widening and Relocation Plan 297 to 297A Walnut Ave in Roxbury Public Way, one sheet dated July 22nd, 2025. Back to the proponent.
Yeah, this same exact thing going on here, about 21 square feet on the corner of Cobden and Walnut Avenue. Again, no changes, and we've kind of already touched on the coordination with PFC and all that stuff. So I'll turn it back over to the chair and the commission.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from commission members? Hearing none, how about PIC staff or members of the public?
Same comments regarding PFC coordination and the highway easements. Other than that, all set.
Thank you, Todd. We are in motion.
I'll make a motion to approve a joint petition by Wandalyn Johnson and Jalisa Turner in the City of Boston Transportation Department for the widening and relocation in Walnut Ave as read into the record by the chair.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstain? Hearing none, so moved. Okay, number 4, on a joint petition by the City of Boston of Housing and the City of Boston Transportation Department for the widening and relocation of the existing right-of-way lines of Walnut Ave, a public way in Roxbury, located on its northerly side at address number 275, generally east of Dennison Street. As shown on a plan entitled City of Boston Public Works Department Engineering Division, Widening and Relocation Plan 275 Walnut Ave in Roxbury Public Way, one sheet dated July 22nd, 2025. Back to the proponent.
Yep, same thing going on at this location. This parcel is about 11 square feet. Again, on the north side of Walnut Ave as you turn the corner, just east of Dennison. So same comments as our coordination on the Public Facilities Commission and all the work that Charlotte and her team have done. With that, I'll turn it back over to the chair.
Thank you, sir. To the commission for questions or comments. Hearing none, how about PIC staff or members of the public?
Same thing, PFC coordination and highway easements, same deal as the previous actions. Other than that, all set.
Okay, do we have the motion?
I'll make a motion to approve a joint petition by the City of Boston Office of Housing and the City of Boston Transportation Department for widening and relocation in Walnut Avenue as read into the record by the chair.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed or abstain? Hearing none, so moved. Okay, item number 5, on a joint petition by William F. Pridgen and William B. Pridgen and the City of Boston Transportation Department for the widening and relocation of the existing right-of-way lines of Walnut Ave, a public way in Roxbury, located on its northerly side at address number 273, generally across from Hallworthy Street and Crawford Street. As shown on a plan entitled City of Boston Public Works Department Engineering Division, Widening and Relocation Plan 273 Walnut Ave, Roxbury, Public Way, one sheet dated July 22nd, 2025. Back to the proponent.
Thank you. Yep, same thing going on here as well, but this one's about 41 square feet across the entire frontage of 273 Walnut Ave. Again, on the northern corner of Walnut, Crawford, and Hallworthy. Same comments about the coordination Charlotte and her team have done with PFC. With that, I'll turn it back over to the chair.
Thank you, sir. Questions or comments from the commission? Hearing none, how about PIC staff or members of the public?
Same PFC coordination and highway easement comments. Other than that, all set.
Thank you. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve a joint petition by William F. Pridgeon and William B. Pridgeon and the City of Boston Transportation Department for widening relocation in Walnut Ave, as read into the record by the chair.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed or abstain? Hearing none, so moved. Okay, number 6, on a joint petition by the City of Boston Public Schools Department and the City of Boston Transportation Department for the widening and relocation of the existing right-of-way lines of Walnut Avenue, a public way in Roxbury, located on its northwesterly side of number 160 Parasoff Street, generally northeast of Hallworthy Street and Crawford Street. As shown on a plan entitled City of Boston Public Works Department Engineering Division, Widening and Relocation Plan, Walnut Ave south of Parasoff Street in Roxbury Public Way. One sheet dated July 22nd, 2025. Back to the proponent.
Thank you. This location is about 28 square feet, just north of the Walnut Crawford Hallworthy intersection, in between the sidewalk and the stone wall. Again, no changes since the last public hearing or new business hearing, and all the same comments about Charlotte's work with Public Facilities Commission. With that, I'll turn it back over to the chair.
Any questions or comments from the commission? Hearing none. Any questions or comments from PIC staff or members of the public?
PFC coordination and highway easements are the same. Other than that, all set.
Great. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve a joint petition by the City of Boston Public Schools Department and the City of Boston Transportation Department for widening relocation in Walnut Ave, as read into the record by the chair.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed or abstain? Hearing none, so moved. All right, number 7, on a joint petition by 163 to 165 Crawford Street Realty Trust in the City of Boston Transportation Department for widening and relocation of the existing right-of-way lines of the following public ways in Roxbury. Crawford Street on its southerly side at addresses number 163 through 165, southwest of Hallworthy Street, and Hallworthy Street on its southwesterly side, southeast of Crawford Street. As shown on a plan entitled City of Boston Public Works Department Engineering Division, Widening and Relocation Plan, 163 through 165 Crawford Street in Roxbury, a public way, one sheet dated July 22nd, 2025. Back to the proponent.
Thank you. This location is about 68 square feet in area, same intersection, just on the south side between a building and the existing sidewalk. Same comments about Charlotte's work with Public Facilities Commission. With that, I'll turn it back over to the chair.
Thank you, sir. Questions or comments from the commission? Hearing none, how about PIC staff or members of the public?
Same comments regarding the PFC coordination and the highway easements. Other than that, we are all set on this one.
Thank you, Todd. Do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve a joint petition by 163 to 165 Crawford Street Realty Trust in the City of Boston Transportation Department for widening relocation in Crawford Street and Hallworthy Street, as read into the record by the chair.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstain? Hearing none, so moved. Okay, number 8, a joint petition by Malik and Elva Lee, Abdal Khalik at LLC in the City of Boston Transportation Department for the widening and relocation of the existing right-of-way lines of Humboldt Ave, public way in Roxbury, located on its westerly side at address number 67 north of Monroe Street. As shown on a plan entitled City of Boston Public Works Department Engineering Division Widening and Relocation Plan, 67 Humboldt Ave in Roxbury, a public way, one sheet dated July 22nd, 2025. Back to the proponent.
Thank you. This location is at the intersection of Humboldt Ave and Monroe Street. This parcel is about 14 square feet as you turn the corner from Humboldt heading up Monroe. Same comments, same reasoning for the taking of this parcel. And thanks to Charlotte and all her team's work for coordinating with Public Facilities Commission. With that, I'll turn it back over to the chair.
Thank you, sir. Questions or comments from the commission? Hearing none, how about PIC staff or members of the public?
Same thing. PFC coordination and highway easements are the same. Other than that, we are all set.
Todd, we have a motion.
I'll make a motion on the joint petition by Malik and Elvali and Abdel Khalik LLC in the City of Boston Transportation Department for a widening relocation in Humboldt Ave, as read into the record by the chair.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed or abstain? Hearing none, so moved. Okay, number 9. On a joint petition by Muriel A. Carter in the City of Boston Transportation Department for the widening and relocation of the existing right-of-way lines on Monroe Street, a public way in Roxbury located on its southerly side at address number 62 west of Humboldt Ave. As shown on a plan entitled City of Boston Public Works Department Engineering Division Widening and Relocation Plan, 62 Monroe Street in Roxbury, a public way, one sheet dated July 22nd, 2025. Back to the proponent.
Thank you. This parcel is about 1 square foot in area, same intersection, Humboldt and Monroe. Again, as you turn the corner up Monroe, heading down Humboldt, it's just cleaning up the sidewalk lines there. Again, no changes since our new business hearing. And thanks again to Charlotte and her team with all the coordination with the Public Facilities Commission. With that, I'll turn it over to the chair.
Thank you, sir. Questions or comments from the commission? Hearing none, how about PIC staff or members of the public?
One last time, same comments. PFC coordination, highway easements, all set.
Great, thank you. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve a joint petition by Muriel A. Carter in the City of Boston Transportation Department for a widening relocation in Monroe Street, as read into the record by the chair.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstain? Hearing none, so moved. Thank you. Okay, number 10. On a joint petition by the Massachusetts Department of Transportation, City of Boston Transportation Department, for the making of specific repairs within the following public ways in Roxbury, consisting of curb realignment, roadway and sidewalk reconstruction, as well as new and relocated pedestrian ramps, street lighting infrastructure, storm drain infrastructure, green stormwater infrastructure, bike racks, hydrants, bollards, driveway curb cuts, median islands, raised crosswalks, and tabled intersections. Specifically, Walnut Ave, generally between Walnut Park and Hallworthy Street at Crawford Street, Westminster Ave, west of Walnut Ave, Crawford Street, south of Hallworthy Street and Walnut Ave, Hallworthy Street, east of Crawford Street at Walnut Ave, Humboldt Ave, generally Monroe Street and Humboldt Court, Monroe Street, west of Humboldt Ave, Ruthven Street, east of Walnut Ave, Cobden Street, west of Humboldt Ave, Abbotsford Street between Harold Street and Crawford Street, Humboldt Court, east of Humboldt Ave. As shown on a set of plans entitled City of Boston Public Works Department Engineering Division, specific repair plans, Walnut Ave, Crawford Street, Humboldt Ave, Dorchester. There's 26 sheets dated November 2024. Back to the proponent.
Thank you, Chair. Charlotte kind of gave an overview already of all the proposed improvements at each of the intersections, and we did touch on it a little bit at the new business hearing 2 weeks ago. I'll just touch on some of the changes that we made to the plans since our last hearing. We incorporated some flexible porous pavement in this existing tree pit here just to obtain minimum clearance behind this large existing tree within the sidewalk, and that was at the request of the Parks Department, I believe. And then we were also able to just add in the city's standard construction detail for a tree planting. I will scroll down just to show it to you for the record. It's towards the end. Yeah, right here. Again, that was at the request of the Parks Department. And then to address Amy's concern about the maintenance of the sidewalk at the Abbotsford location, I know Charlotte had coordinated with a few departments and the property owner, and I believe she got agreement from the property owner to maintain this. I believe she had coordinated with that part with Todd. So Charlotte, I don't know if there's anything else you want to add as it relates to the maintenance of this sidewalk that Amy had questioned last hearing.
Yeah, the adjacent property owner said they would plowed to the new ramp location. The green infrastructure will be maintained by the Office of Green Infrastructure.
Yeah, I guess with that, I'll turn it back over to the chair if there's any questions from anybody.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from the commission? Hearing none. Any questions or comments from PIC staff or members of the public?
We are all set on this one. Thank you.
Great. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve a joint petition by the Massachusetts Department of Transportation and the City of Boston Transportation Department for the making of specific repairs in Walnut Ave, Westminster Ave, Crawford Street, Hallworthy Street, Humboldt Ave, Monroe Street, Ruthven Street, Cobden Street, Abbotsford Street, and Humboldt Court as read into record by the chair.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstained? Hearing none, so moved. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Okay, item number 11, on a petition by Boston 115 Development LLC for the acceptance of 2 pedestrian easements adjacent to the following public ways in Dorchester. Boston Street on its westerly side at address numbers 115 to 121, generally between West Hallwell Street and Washburn Street. West Hallwell Street on its northerly side, generally west of Boston Street. As shown on a plan entitled City of Boston Public Works Department Engineering Division, Pedestrian Easement Plan, Boston Street, West Hallwell Street, 115 to 121, Boston Street in Dorchester. One sheet dated November 25th, 2025. That will hand it over to the proponent.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and Commission members. I'm Maddie Blanchard with Howard Stern Hudson. We're the civil engineer on the job. Joined today by members of the development team, Boston 115 Development LLC, and architect of record, KDI. Just to give a very brief overview of the project, it's a 0.8 acre site in the Dorchester neighborhood. The site's bounded by Boston Street Extension to the north, which is a MassDOT owned right of way, Boston Street to the east, West Howell Street to the south, which are both City of Boston owned right of ways, and then a privately owned parcel to the west. The existing site contains a 1 to 2 story commercial building and service parking lots, all of which will be demolished to allow for the construction of a 5-story mixed-use residential building. The building will provide approximately 90 residential units, ground floor commercial space, and 56 subsurface garage parking spaces that will be accessed off Boston Street Extension. Apologies. We're requesting approval for pedestrian easements within Boston Street and West Howell Street. Within Boston Street, the pedestrian easement is approximately 5.2 feet in width and will allow for a 10-foot wide cement concrete sidewalk measured from back of sidewalk furnishing zone. The total area of this easement is approximately 954 square feet. Within West Howell Street, we're requesting approval for the pedestrian easement that will allow for a 5-foot wide cement concrete sidewalk measured from back of sidewalk furnishing zone. The easement has an approximate width of 4 feet and a total area of 500 square feet. No changes have been made since this was presented at new business.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from the commission? How about PIC staff or members of the public?
We are all set on these easements.
Thank you, sir. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve a petition by Boston 115 Development LLC for the acceptance of 2 pedestrian easements in Boston Street and West Howell Street as read into the record by the chair.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstained? Hearing none, so moved. Thank you. Okay, item number 13, on a petition by the St. Agrippina Society of Boston for the granting of a private utility license.
Sorry to interrupt. We still need number 12.
Oh, apologies. All right, item number 12, on a petition by Boston 115 Development LLC for the making of specific repairs within the following public ways in Dorchester, consisting of curb realignment, sidewalk reconstruction with structural soil, as well as new and relocated pedestrian ramps, specialty pavement, street lighting infrastructure, storm drain infrastructure, street trees, landscaping, bike racks, and driveway curb cuts. At Boston Street, generally at address number 115 to 121 between West Howell Street and Washburn Street, and on West Howell Street west of Boston Street. As shown on a set of plans entitled City of Boston Public Works Department Engineering Division Specific Repair Plan, Boston Street, West Howell Street, Public Way, 115 to 121 Boston Street, Dorchester, 5 sheets dated October 3rd, 2025. Back to the proponent.
Thank you. Madison Blanchard with Howard Stein Hudson, the civil engineer record on the job. We are requesting approval of specific repairs within Boston Street and West Howell Street. Within Boston Street, specific repairs include sidewalk widening and reconstruction, installation of a 4.5-foot wide furnishing zone, which will include permeable pavers, 4 new bike racks, and 4 new street trees, as well as a 15 dock bike share station, the closure of 2 existing curb cuts, and the reconstruction of pedestrian ramps at the intersection of Boston Street and Boston Street Extension, as well as the intersection of Boston Street and West Howell Street. At the northwest corner of West Howell Street, part of the pedestrian ramp reconstruction will include curb realignment. Within West Howell Street, the specific repairs include the installation of a sidewalk from the intersection with Boston Street extending to the northwest corner of the property. Adjacent to 123 Boston Street, we will be adjusting the curb line to allow for the installation of this 5-foot wide sidewalk along with a 2-foot wide furnishing zone consisting of permeable pavers. Adjacent to the project site, a 4.5-foot wide furnishing zone will be installed, and this will include landscaping improvements as well as the installation of 1 new street tree while maintaining the existing street tree adjacent to the project site. There will also be driveway curb cut modifications within West Howell Street. Since we last presented at new business, we coordinated with the Accessible Ramps group on the grading of all proposed pedestrian ramps. None of this coordination resulted in changes to the ramp types or the ramp locations as shown on the plans. And I'll pass it back to you.
Thank you. Questions or comments from the commission?
Just want to thank the team for working with the Streets Cabinet ADA ramp team on the coordination of the reconstructed ramps.
Happy to. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments from the commission? All right, hearing none. How about PIC staff or members of the public?
All set on this action.
Thank you, Todd. Do we have a motion?
Make a motion to approve a petition by Boston 115 Development LLC for the making of specific repairs in Boston Street and West Howell Street as read into the record by the chair.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstained? Hearing none, so moved. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, now on to number 13. On a petition by the St. Agrippina Society of Boston for the granting of a private utility license for the installation of new electric infrastructure within Hanover Street, a public way in Boston proper, located at addresses number 416 to 420 and 441 to 445, generally between Fountain Place and Salutation Street. As shown on a plan entitled City of Boston Public Works Department Engineering Division, private utility license on Hanover Street, public way, St. Agrippina Benefit Society of the North End, 1 sheet dated November 25th, 2025. I'll hand it to the proponent.
Good morning, all. I'm Christina Mollicone from Howard Stein Hudson, here today on behalf of the St. Agrippina Benefit Society for the installation of 2 private electrical service cabinets in the North End. I'm going to hand it over to Sal from the Society to give a few words.
Hi, everybody. Good morning. So from St. Agrippina Society, just a little bit of a history where we've been doing the festival for over 113 years now. These electrical boxes are a major proponent of not only our feast, but the other feasts that are located on Hanover and Battery Street. As the energy has been changing, obviously our energy sources have been changing. We're going towards a greener, less of a carbon footprint. About 40 years ago, we installed these electrical boxes. They are maintained privately by us. And now as we've moved on and people are moving away from propane and gas and generators, we need to update the cabinets and just make sure that the feast goes on and that we have a way to privately power the feast appropriately.
Thanks, Sal. Just to reiterate, the project is seeking approval for private utility license to install 2 electric service cabinets on Hanover Street. One is adjacent to 416, 420 Hanover, and one near 441, 445. The cabinets will supply power to Feast vendors and will be privately owned and operated. Electrical service to the cabinets will be provided by Eversource, and there have been no changes since new business.
Great, thank you. Questions or comments from the commission?
Just confirming that, right, as these are going to be fully private, right, utility boxes in the right of way, that there's an associated LMI that reflects this?
Yes, these will be privately owned and operated.
And we have a legal agreement?
I think it was decided that, yes, I forget, Chong said that they were legally allowed to do this, so.
Yes, Chung has confirmed that, and also I believe you've been working with him on the required license maintenance and indemnification agreement for this as well.
Yes.
Right. Great.
Perfect, thank you.
Any other questions or comments from the commission? How about PIC staff or members of the public?
All set.
We have a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve a petition by the St. Agrippina Society of Boston for the granting of a private utility license in Hanover Street as read into the record by the chair.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those are abstaining. Hearing none, so moved. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, on a petition, number 14, on a petition by CB Equities 944 Saratoga LLC for the making of specific repairs within Saratoga Street, a public way in East Boston located at number 944, generally between Boardman Street and Trident Street at Brandywine Drive, and consisting of curb realignment, sidewalk reconstruction with structural soil, as well as new relocated pedestrian ramps, specialty pavements, street lighting infrastructure, storm drain infrastructure, street trees, green stormwater infrastructure, bike racks, and driveway curb cuts. As shown on a set of plans entitled City of Boston Public Works Department Engineering Division, specific repairs, 944 Saratoga Street, East Boston, 2 sheets dated November 24th, 2025, as revised on December 9th, 2025. Hand it off to the proponent.
Good morning, Chief Gove and members of the commission. For the record, Rick Salvo with Engineering Alliance. Also with me today is John Conley from CB Equities. The plan is really the same plan that was reviewed a few weeks ago. There was a request that we added the spot elevations to the ramps, which, as you can see, we've done. We also had a conversation with the property owner across the street for the reciprocal ramp, Mr. Vin Lombardo, who had no objections to us making this about 3-foot modification to the curb cut. Beyond that, everything is the same as what was presented back on December 4th.
Any questions or comments from the commission? Hearing none, how about PIC staff or members of the public?
I believe we are all set on this one.
Thanks, Todd. All right, do we have a motion?
Make a motion to approve a petition by CB Equities, it's 944 Saratoga LLC for the making of specific repairs within Saratoga Street as read in the record by the chair.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you for your time, everyone.
Thank you. All right, so moved. Next item on the agenda is on a petition, number 15, on a petition by CALH Investments LLC for the acceptance of a pedestrian easement adjacent to Canterbury Street Public Way in West Roxbury, located on its southeasterly side at addresses number 586 to 598, generally between Walk Hill Street and Bourne Street. As shown on a plan entitled City of Boston Public Works Department Engineering Division, pedestrian easement plan 586 to 598 Canterbury Street in Rosendale, one sheet dated October 2025. Hand it to the proponent.
Good morning, Chief Gove, board members, PIC staff, Attorney John Pulgini here on behalf of Cal Investments LLC. With me today is Kevin Cady, who is the civil engineer on this project. This proposal is a 4-story residential building located near the intersection of Canterbury and American Legion Highway in Rosendale. This building will include 46 residential units with 32 garage parking spaces accessed off Canterbury Street. As part of this proposal, we are bringing our property back to provide a pedestrian easement to the city, and there has been no changes since our new business hearing. At this point, I'll turn it over to Kevin to walk through the plans. Thank you.
Thank you, John. I'm just going to share my screen so the group can see this. So I assume you're looking at the pedestrian easement plan. The specific repairs plan provides more context. But we are providing a pedestrian easement to allow a 5-foot clear path of travel behind the furnishing zone. The project involves bike racks, new street trees, and a new concrete sidewalk. I'm happy to go into more specific details. I know this is for the pedestrian easement section, but yeah, like John said, no changes since our last submission. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Questions or comments from the commission? Hearing none, how about PIC staff or members of the public?
All set.
Thanks, Todd. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve a petition by KALH Investments LLC for the acceptance of a pedestrian easement in Canterbury, or adjacent to Canterbury Street, as read into record by the chair.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed or abstain? Hearing none, so moved. Thank you. Okay, item number 16, on a petition by CALH Investment LLC for the making of specific repairs within Canterbury Street, a public way in West Roxbury, located on the southeasterly side at addresses number 586 to 598, generally between Walk Hill Street and Bourne Street, and consisting of curb and sidewalk reconstruction with structural soil as well as new and relocated specialty pavement, street trees, bike racks, hydrants, and driveway curb cuts. As shown on a set of plans entitled City of Boston Public Works Department Engineering Division, specific repair plan 586 to 598 Canterbury Street in Rosendale, Public Way, 3 sheets dated October 2025, as revised on November 26, 2025. We'll hand it back to the proponent.
Thanks again, Chief Gove, board members, PIC staff. Again, Attorney John Pulgini on behalf of Cal Investments LLC. With me today is Kevin Cady, who's our civil engineer. This proposal is a 4-story residential building located at the intersections of Canterbury and American Legion in Rosendale. 46 residential units with 32 garage spaces accessed off Canterbury Street. Associated with this development are a number of public realm improvements, which brings us here today for the specific repair action. At this point, I will turn it over to Kevin to walk through those improvements. Appreciate it.
Thank you, John. Yeah, to mimic what I said last time, I pulled up the specific repairs plan. There are street trees, new bike racks, some new electrical lines going through there. We do have some stormwater management just off the property line, or just within the property line. Nothing, pretty straightforward. No changes from the last few reviews. And I believe we've addressed all the comments that we did receive, which included narrowing our curb cut, showing the limits of the structural soil for the trees. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from the commission on this one?
You're not providing any streetlights on this sidewalkscape, right? We see the trees, but I don't see any lights. Is this what is desired by the street lighting department?
We didn't get any comments from them specifically, and we didn't propose them because adjacent project that I believe is a little bit larger didn't include those on Canterbury Street, so we have not proposed that.
I think we should just make sure that we have that coordination with, the street lighting department.
Okay. We did not receive any comments from them, so, but if you would like additional coordination.
Yeah, I just want them to be a little bit more, not a no comment, just or they can say no comment, but we'd like them to say no comment, not just not comment.
Understood.
Thanks, Amy. Any other questions or comments from the commission? Hearing none. Any questions or comments from PIC staff or members of the public?
No, along those lines, I would just suggest that this vote be contingent on double checking with Public Works Street Lighting Division.
Agreed. Thanks, Todd. Okay, do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve a petition by KLH Investments LLC for the making of specific repairs within Canterbury Street as read into the record by the chair, contingent upon final approval by the street lighting department.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed or abstained? Hearing none, so moved. Thank you.
Appreciate it, everyone. Enjoy the holidays.
Thank you. Take care.
Happy holiday.
Okay, last item, number 17, on a petition by the Boston Planning and Development Agency doing business as the City of Boston Planning Department for the making of specific repairs within Main Street, a public way in Charlestown, generally located on its northeasterly side at addresses number 529 to 543 between Medford Street and Alfred Street, consisting of curb realignment, sidewalk reconstruction, as well as new and relocated pedestrian ramps, storm drain infrastructure, driveway curb cuts, protected bicycle lane infrastructure, permanent flood walls, and deployable flood barrier infrastructure. As shown on a set of plans entitled City of Boston Public Works Department Engineering Division, Specific Repairs Plan, Boston Interim Flood Protection Project, 529 Main Street, a public way in Charlestown, 13 sheets, dated December 1st, 2025. I'll hand it over to the proponent.
Good morning. My name is Cassandra Martinez from Weston & Sampson, the engineer consultant for the City of Boston. I also have Ben Matasawa from BPDA. I'll just share to remind everyone of the project. So this project is for installation of deployable flood barriers over by the Schrafts building in Charlestown. And to accommodate that work, we are proposing redoing of the sidewalks on either side of the driveway, construction of a flat pedestrian crossing where the deployable barriers will be placed, concrete walls to tie into those barriers, replacement of the bike lane, and upgrades to storm drain infrastructure. Since the last hearing on the 4th, I know comments were brought up by Boston Water and Sewer Commission at that hearing. So we did have a follow-up meeting and some correspondence as late as yesterday with BWSC about the storm drain updates. So perhaps we can touch on that specifically. Otherwise, we have not made any other changes to these plans. Although I guess one minor one that, Todd, I know you had requested was related to this property line that cuts through Main Street. We changed the coloring of it and just made a distinction on the fee ownership for the property on either side.
Okay, any questions or comments from the commission?
Just confirming, right, that these deployables are owned by who?
They'll be owned by the City of Boston and maintained and operated by the Office of Emergency Management.
Okay, and we have I'm assuming an agreement for both what happens with the deployables and also the maintenance of all the other wall and associated things that are changing out here?
Yeah, we are drafting it with the property owners and also the LMI So it's nearing completion. We just need to make sure that we get every detail in there.
Great.
Oh, hi, this is Denise Devlin from Boston Water and Sewer. Yes, I thank you for mentioning the comments that were sent last night. So I think as PIC goes, we're okay with you going through with the plans, but I think we probably just have to, have the changes that we requested through the site plan process. So we're okay with that.
Okay, yeah, thanks, Denise. I think one comment, because I know John had noted that you would prefer, it sounded like you were noting that you would prefer, like on this drain line, we were proposing another regular, like resilient wedge gate valve, and he had noted potentially the option for a backwater valve, and then a manhole here as a potentially less expensive option. So I think we just, and maybe it requires a follow-up with John as well, just to confirm if that's a requirement or if it's still a preference, and we can just decide on which type of valve either one could be, acknowledging that the operation of any valves would not be on Boston Water and Sewer during a flood. It would be on the Office of Emergency Management.
Right, yeah, so that'd be a good idea. Thank you.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Any other questions or comments from the commission? How about PIC staff or members of the public?
I know that the project team has been working with the Disabilities Commission and also Public Works' accessibility team on the finer details of some of these ramps. I did recently hear one point being that I think one of these ramps or the tactile panel or something like that may be partially located on private property as designed today, so that may need to be tweaked, but it doesn't sound like that should be a major issue. So I think the project team just needs to finalize that coordination prior to construction.
Yeah, I just want to interject here to say I think we have a meeting on the books in the new year to work out some of those details.
Thanks, Todd. Any other questions? We're good. All right, hearing none. Is there a motion?
Make a motion to approve a petition by the Boston Planning and Development Agency, DBA, the City of Boston Planning Department, for the making of specific repairs in Main Street as read into the record by the chair.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstain? Hearing none, so moved. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks very much.
Okay. Moving on to administrative matters. Upon nomination by the representative of the Public Works Department, appointment of a Transportation Department representative, Amy Cording, and/or her designee as the Vice Chair of the Public Improvement Commission. Mr. Lyman, could you please provide some context on this matter for the commission?
Sure. So this is just kind of a housekeeping action. Any time the chair of the commission changes, if that chair wishes to nominate, or anybody else on the commission for that matter wishes to nominate a new vice chair, we just need to kind of formalize that through a vote of the commission. So that's all that this is. I'll open it up to questions, comments, or anything else anybody has to say.
Any questions or comments from the commission? Nope. How about the public?
Looks like we're all set. Congratulations, Amy.
Yay.
Todd, do we have to take an actual vote?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't think I can make this motion. Philosophically.
I move for the commission to appoint Transportation Department Representative Amy Cording and/or her designee as the Vice Chair of the Public Improvement Commission.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed or abstain? Hearing none, so moved. Amy, thank you for your long and continued service to PIC.
Love it.
All right, so before we adjourn, it should be noted that our next meeting will be held on Thursday, January 15th, 2026. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. So moved. Thank you, everyone.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Thank you.
Happy holidays.
Merry Christmas.